All change in the Manchester United midfield. Ederson won't be coming, apparently due to medical reasons. It's weird, too, that Atalanta's director of football is a guy who was a sporting director at Manchester United, John Lampard, before. But sure, just a coincidence. But Youri Tielemans, speaking of Belgian stars, a guy who had a good tournament, he's on board after United paid his £35 million release clause, and Andre Santos confirmed, who you like more than I do, confirmed on Monday.
I seem to be the only one who likes Andre Santos, to be fair, because I think there's potential there, and he's only 22 years old, so there's a massive room for improvement, and maybe the £48 million that you paid for him is a bit too much. I get that, but I still think there's a really good player in there somewhere with the right coaching, and let's see if that player is there with the right coaching, and if Carrick can coach him well. For Tielemans, I think it's a great coup. One of the signings already of the summer for me to get him for that cheap. I know he's 29, so maybe a little bit older than what they would have liked, but he's the perfect player for this team. He was very good. Aston Villa last season, he's been very good in this World Cup. He has a few more years ahead of him. Without a doubt, I think for me, he's a great signing.
We'll see how cheap it was when we get more details, I think, about the size of his contract. But yeah, the real Tielemans is special. And I think it's going to be a big boost for them. Andre Santos, a fit Ederson, I would have been happier with than both of these.
Meanwhile, Aston Villa looks to seal Yohan Mozambi's deal from Freiburg for around €60 million after he had been strongly linked with Newcastle.
Feel bad. It's like Newcastle has been super active chasing everybody, and then they miss out on everybody except for the Touré guy. I think Manzambi is very raw he really impressed me at the World Cup. We saw from Freiburg, we saw a guy who is a phenomenal athlete, who thinks about the game well. I don't think technically he is where he should be yet. And I think players can improve technically until a certain age. And he's got that room for improvement. If you're going to bring a guy in, we know that they have to sacrifice. I'm assuming he's not making a lot of money because this is a big transfer fee.
It is.
And obviously, they're under serious. We have to really turn the screws on them because they're overspending. So it shows that they're still willing to compete. We'll just see if somebody swoops in at the last minute because it's been one of those summers. More outgoings at Villa. Luca Dean could be joining the European champions after Paris Saint-Germain met his release clause of $10 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's not could be. He will be joining PSG, even with a mistake against Spain.
You still want him.
He went from 24 hours where he had his dream move back home because he's obviously from Paris, and same with the wife and the kids, etc., etc. And then 24 hours later, he made that mistake that cost France massively, but they wanted him as a backup. He's 33 soon, as a backup to Nuno Mendes. He accepted that. He knows he's still going to play enough to probably keep his place, or certainly around the national team if Zidane wants him back. Obviously, we still have enough game time to enjoy the season or the 2 seasons to come with PSG. I think it's a smart signing with a release clause that he put himself in the new deal that he signed with Aston Villa a year ago.
So if he comes in to be the reserve left back, what does my friend Lucas do?
I mean, that's a good question. He will be the reserve of Pacho left centre back even more than what he was.
Or maybe he could join his brother.
Or maybe he could join his brother in Saudi Arabia. That's true.
Mason Greenwood to Fenerbahce for €39 million is all done, Jules.
Yeah.
Considering that everybody knew that his club needed to raise money very, very quickly, and considering that his toxicity means there's not too many other clubs he could have signed for, I think Marseille should be very happy with the amount of money they got now.
Maybe, but they're not. They wanted more money than that because in the end of those 39 million euros, 12.4 million are going to go back to United because there was a clause in the contract. So in the end, it's not much left for Marseille compared to what they bought him for at Getafe. And again, there was amortization. He stayed 2 years. He had 2 really good seasons, even if he's very difficult to work with. Sometimes Atletico Madrid were very much in the running. There was a time where Greenwood would almost chose Atletico instead of Fenerbahce. The problem recently, as we were told and we reported on our website, was that for 2 days he went AWOL, and Diego Simeone tried to reach him, sending messages, calling him, and there was just no answer from Greenwood. Where they just didn't know. He disappeared. They didn't know where he went. And in the end, Atletico, I think, had enough of it and got tired of it and just pulled out of the race. So he was just Fenerbahce. He went there. He's got a huge contract. He's up to €8 million a year net. So he's not going to be to blame. I just find it a little bit weird. Not just the fact that such a talent at 24 is going to go to Turkey. Okay, that's fine. Fenerbahce, a massive club.
Osimhen went to Turkey too.
Yeah, exactly. it's just the way it seems to have happened. I don't know, it's weird to me.
Yeah, my hunch of him going AWOL for 2 days while Simone's trying to get in touch with him isn't, and maybe I'm too cynical and I've covered the transfer market for too many years. I don't think this is Greenwood being weird or losing his phone. I think this is some sort of tactical move to try to get a better deal from whatever. And
people thought they were going to.
No, they obviously backfired. They thought they were going to be smart.
Nothing happened.
But yeah, we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, Arthur Atta of Udinese was one of the best players in Serie A last season and probably in the season before too. And now he's signed for Fiorentina. Are you a little surprised at the price, maybe?
I am very surprised at the price. Arthur Atta, by the way, who is French, but weirdly one of the few French players who's not from Paris. He's from Rennes, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
And then he was at Saint-Etienne or whatever. Anyway, but other parts
there's some good players outside of Paris.
Occasionally. He's very good. The fee it's 30 million euros, negotiated by your friend Fabio Paratici.
Yeah.
And I got a call from an agent who said, well, maybe Fabio Paratici is not that smart, because if you're going to throw that kind of money, he says it's 30 million, plus up to 10 million in bonuses, plus a 30% sell-on fee. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you're Fiorentina, and look, you're in a situation where who else is going to come? If an English club comes into him, all right, they'll push it to 50 million, and you're not going to get him. Fine.
Yeah.
But who are you competing with here? Yeah, great player. Curious to see what he does. I have to say, I like him more. I like this more than the Dragusin signing for Fiorentina.
Too, yeah, who doesn't?
But yeah, I don't think this is I think the masterstroke here is from Udinese.
Yeah.
Melvin Mallard leaves Manchester United for Chelsea. Jules, how big a deal is this?
I mean, talking about Paris-born and bred players, here she is.
You cannot go 2 quick hits without a Paris-born and bred person coming out.
What can I say? As she was United's best player, she was outstanding, I thought, last season in the league, in the Champions League too. It's a huge signing for Sonia Bonpastor and for Chelsea. There's 2 more French players there. There's the French staff, obviously, so she will feel at home. I think it's a really good signing. And a signing of intent, I think, as well for Chelsea to come back even stronger in this WSL season. That's going to be fantastic when you see the recruitment of the London City Lionesses, for example. So they will have a great team. It's going to be
raiding Barcelona.
I mean, yeah, Paraguayo, Putellas, Mapi Leon, Cadidiani as well. It's going to be great.
Mapi Leon and Diani are not done yet, though. They're close,
pretty much done, yeah. It's almost done. And it was going to be a great WSL season for sure. Michael Edwards, meanwhile, has left Liverpool with
Michael Edwards is most definitely not Paris-born and bred.
No,
he's the opposite of Paris-born and bred.
And neither is Mike Gordon, who's taking over his job as kind of chief football officer, at least for now. Gabi, what do you make of this, and what does that mean for our friend Richard Hughes?
So Mike Gordon is obviously essentially the big boss, the owner representative, right? So he's doing the function. To me, what it means is the narrative that came out there was almost that like Michael Edwards tried to distance himself from all the signings, most of whom didn't work out. And so look, it's all Richard Hughes, but I'm going to go and buy another club, right? Everything that's being fed out of this club is that Liverpool need to add a satellite club, need to have their own version of Strasbourg. Otherwise, they won't be able to compete post Brexit. I don't buy it. I think he's gone because people held him to account for the signings that didn't work out, for the team that, I mean, I've said all season long, that wasn't built. There's too much change too quickly, maybe not what Arne Slot wanted, whatever. And it seemed that a lot of the blame fell on Richard Hughes, who is still around and is still doing stuff. Yeah. So I think he's got another year in his contract. I think in the end, people are saying like, all right, you guys might have screwed up together, but you keep working, and you, Michael, on your bike. Because when as smart as he is, and obviously he had a huge part in building the successful club teams and everything, when you look at the profile of teams that he was trying to sign, that he was trying to acquire for the club, and he kind of made it his vision, tunnel vision, they didn't feel right. It's not like Chelsea go and buy a club of nearly equivalent size. No, they go and buy a little teeny club that gets promoted and sticks around in Ligue 1 and does well. Here they were going after clubs that I don't think would have been a fit at all. And there would have been a massive backlash. Liverpool care about what fans think, even fans of other clubs. They don't want to be seen as bad guys. It just seemed that there was this massive disconnect. And between that and the signings, I think it makes sense that he's moving on to his new project. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, not Paris-born and bred, but he's from Gabon. But I'm sure he's been to Paris. Returns to La Liga, Jules. He's 37 years young.
Yeah.
and he joins newly promoted Super Depor La Coruña.
Yeah, he could have gone to Turkey for more money and for 2 years, and instead he goes to La Coruña. What a great story it is. I mean, we're still good at times, and I know the season dragged on with Marseille. There was a lot of issues and everything. But you see there, 14 goals in 41 games in all competitions. He's still great. He scored two wonderful goals, for example, in the Champions League against Newcastle at the Velodrome. I think it's a good signing for Depor because they will need his goals and his experience to try to stay up in La Liga next season.
All right, help me out here with Aubameyang, because he was super athletic when he was younger and he was fast and everything. Obviously, he doesn't have that when he's 37. The times I've seen him play for Marseille, I love how his brain is now the key part of how he operates. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously all great. I mean, Messi was a great athlete as well. But that transition, he was somebody who I thought he's not going to be able to make the transition, but he's made it.
Yeah. I mean, he's been quite smart in how he reinvented his game a little bit in a way. More in the box too, less those big runs with acceleration and that pace. He still is quite quick, as we saw again in that game against Newcastle. But over the two goals, two very different goals, if you remind them. I don't think the second goal was in front of Dan Burn. But you get the idea. Right. One is first time finish near post on that cross. The second one, he runs faster than everybody, including the goalkeeper, to get the ball before and then score in a tight angle. So I think it's a really good signing. It's a smart signing from Deportivo. It's not going to cost them much either. And they can use that experience. And meanwhile, Gab, Alain Saint-Maximin is headed to MLS.
He's heading to Charlotte. And look, if we're talking about one-man wrecking crew entertainers, it's him. Yeah. You couldn't ask for more. You want to put butts on seats for a reasonable price? It's him. I thought he had a positive impact when he moved to Lens late in the season.
In January,
from Saudi with our friend Joseph.
From Mexico.
Oh, from Mexico, sorry. Yeah. He'd been he was in Saudi before that, wasn't he? In fact, Newcastle didn't get the deal from a PSR perspective because it was a related party transaction when he went to Saudi. Sorry. But he's Showtime. Turn it on anytime.
He's still good. Yeah, he's still good. He's going to be great in MLS. I think this is, again, a very signing. It's a shame for Ligue 1 that he's not sticking around for a little bit longer for Lens to have him in the Champions League, but they were very happy and they signed Thorgan Hazard, the brother of, obviously, Eden Hazard, who used to be at the Lens Academy 20 years ago or something like that, and now he's coming back where it all started for him and going to try to team.